Okay, so a pretty interesting tweet surfaced a few days ago regarding the Final Fantasy VII Remake and the Nintendo Switch. Dystify had tweeted that he'd heard from a quote-unquote second-hand source that we're getting the Final Fantasy VII Remake on the Switch, and it's been announced at E3. This, of course, blew up Twitter and basically every other social network, but he did, however, follow this up with, "Please don't treat this as fact, it's just something I heard from somebody I consider to be reliable." It's a bit of backtracking there, but this comes at a pretty interesting time. I know rumours like this are thrown out close to E3 all of the time, but recent interviews with Square Enix staff has led me to believe that this isn't the craziest idea. So a magazine in Japan called Nikkei? Anyway, they published an interview with Yusuke Matsuda, and he's the Square Enix CEO. And in this interview, he had like nothing but praise for Nintendo's new console. He also claimed that they're going to be porting as many old titles as possible to this console, as well as creating all of its new games for it too. This led to a heap of speculation that the Final Fantasy VII Remake would be one of those games. Let's take a look at the actual quote itself. "Our developers with a strong interest in the Switch are eager to challenge themselves to find new ways for people to play games. Having more gaming platforms available is a good thing for us. I really want the Switch to succeed. We'll be developing new titles and we'd like to port existing titles that the Switch can support often as we can. Nintendo creates a wide variety of new gameplay possibilities. I think other companies will come up with some surprising gimmicks using the Switch's unique capabilities. We have our own way of doing things, so we'll be marrying the Switch's unique features to the kind of games that we're known for." So this is a really positive statement from Square Enix, and I honestly think that they are looking for a way to port the 7 Remake to the Switch. I mean, look, here's the thing. If they want it to succeed as much as he said, then surely they know that the two biggest, most anticipated titles of the year, the Remake and Kingdom Hearts 3, need to be on that console. And I'm sure people will argue that it might not be able to handle it, but honestly, I don't think that's true, because nobody's really put this console to the test yet. And the game's still in development, so if they wanted to work on a Switch version, they could do that. Also, if they didn't port it over, think about how much they'd miss out on. I mean, Nintendo has such a huge fan base, one that's really thirsty for a Final Fantasy game, I might add. And it's also Nintendo's fastest selling console, so Square would have the opportunity to have their biggest blockbuster titles span across 3 different console audiences, one of which is portable. I mean, come on. He also said that he wants to port existing games over, which is cool. What I'd be interested in is maybe the older Final Fantasy games, 7 through 10. That on a portable console would be a pretty triumphant return to Nintendo. And I think it would sell in droves. But the last part of what he said was pretty interesting. He's basically saying that while other developers might use the Switch's various functions for gimmicky concepts, Square is going to be focusing on just bringing their titles over to the console exactly how they are, which is totally fine with me, guys. The less gimmicks, the better. So I also have one sad bit of news, guys. It seems that an investor document stating that both the 7 Remake and Kingdom Hearts 3 have been pushed back to 2018 and beyond, guys. I mean, it's not like we didn't know it was coming, but I mean, it's still sad news. Anyway, what do you guys think of the remake heading to the Switch? Is that a good idea? I mean, is it even going to happen? I really, really hope so. As always, guys, let me know down in the comments below. Like the video and do not forget to subscribe.